Thank you for joining us on this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Babli Jonathan. In our top stories in this edition of the news, hundreds of persons threatened by forceful eviction in Yupo neighborhood, Douala 2 subdivision. It is the outcome of a land dispute pitting them and the Douala Port Authority. Rebel forces fighting in northern Ethiopia agreed to a government offer of a truce to allow food aid reach millions of people in need of urgent assistance. And in sports, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon will clash with the Desert Foxes of Algeria in a World Cup qualification game later this evening. Stay with us. Hundreds of persons, tens of families lamenting over the uncertain future awaiting them and the gloomy cloud looming over their future as a result of a land dispute pitting them and the Douala Port Authority. They are threatened by a forceful eviction exercise of the Douala Port Authority. The institution is claiming ownership of the land, and the occupants are also brandishing land certificates, land titles, to show proof of their legal ownership of the different portions of land they are occupying. Details with Equinoxe.
A woman lamenting as her luxurious home is under demolition threats in Yupo in Douala. She says during the construction, no one intervened, and now that the building stands tall, the Douala Port Authority starts preaching demolition. She is among 100 others who are to be evicted from an over 5-hectare piece of land that stretches into the marshy area demarcated by the thick yellow line of the Douala Port Authority.
In this area, we have IDPs who have settled here, making up their lives here, and now they want to remove them. It is rather unfortunate. With
authorization from the Presidency of the Republic of Cameroon, the Douala Port Authority notifies victims below the yellow line of a future merciless demolition. This will see giant buildings, schools, churches, homes and other structures brought down, like was the case weeks back in the Esenge neighborhood, where many had also constructed out of the limit.
The church is not occupying this land illegally, because the land was granted to the church by the chief of the canton, René Bell, 10,000 euro square. So the state knows that the church is here, and the tradition knows that the church is here. It's not a land that we have just come and installed ourselves. No, it has been given to us, and that's why we are here today.
If this school has to be demolished, it will affect the education of 800 kids, parents, and even the population of this locality. In this school are children from the crisis-hit regions. What will become of them if this school is destroyed? According to the locals, at the verge of an eviction, they were ordered to construct in Yupo by the Ministry of State Property, Survey and Land Tenure several years back.
We were broken from what called Old Yupo to this place with certified papers. So the poor can come today and say everywhere is his place.
In a communique from the Douala Port Authority, they are acting on the instruction of the President of the Republic to secure the seaport zone. On this satellite image, the Douala Port Authority had first demarcated the limit with the light yellow line. With the growing population size of Yupo, the Port Authority decided to shift its limits backwards, indicated by the thick yellow line. This implies all of those who have crossed the new limit in Yupo and Esenge are victims of the Douala Port Authority's demolition exercise.
The Custom Administration intensifies the fight against illegal activities on the national territory. A fake cement factory has been dismantled in the Bonabicano neighborhood in Bonaberi Douala 4 subdivision, and the custom officers got intelligence and stormed the factory, fabricating fake cement and packaging in the cement bags of two major cement producers in the Republic of Cameroon, and the cement is produced out of leftovers or debris of the actual or legal cement factories. And of course, the fake cement factory is employing several persons, or was employing several persons, before it was dismantled yesterday by custom officers who stormed the area, and the officers are intensifying the fight against such illegal business activities in the Republic of Cameroon, apparently gaining grounds in several parts of the country, not only cement but other goods that are illegally produced and put on the market. This factory has been existing for a long period of time and producing this fake cement and putting it on the market, and of course consumers have been using this cement without knowing the content was not the exact thing that should be put on the market. And of course the cement factory has been putting these products, these fake products, on the market. Now to the southwest region of the country. The region continues counting victims of the cholera outbreak, and more than 2,000 persons infected or affected by the outbreak, and of course tens of deaths already recorded, and the health amenities in the region battling to cope with the increasing number of patients, cholera patients, streaming into the hospitals. And our correspondent David Maimon has been nosing news in this area, in the town of Limbe and the rest of the Fako division and the southwest region as a whole, and he now brings to us updates in this report.
Right behind me, find the little girl there with the mother right beside, and she's just one out of 100 of cases that are actually here within the district hospital here in Bota. Medics at the district hospital here in Bota battling with the cholera bacteria. In fact, to save lives here at the district medical hospital here in Bota. In fact, we are made to understand that even stands to actually put the drapes, in fact, they have shortage of almost everything. You can see there as drapes are being placed around the window, telling you that they are running out of shortage of materials here.
Yes, I'm Dr. Ngembus Abjerki. I'm the management of the cholera unit. This is Madam Patient. She's the major, my assistant here. The situation, we're trying our best to see what we can contain. As you can see, we're also providing assistance, ringers, rehydration, and many other protocols for the management of cholera here, and also for severe dehydration. The situation is not very easy on our side as well. We're trying as much to get more beds where we can accompany more patients.
So what are some of the obstacles or challenges you have faced?
As challenges, we need more beds, we need more infusions to hydrate our patients, we also need drugs. We also try as much to contain the situation in our own angles, because we also have a little bit of shortage of those logistics. So we can have assistance in that angle. We're very happy.
Davidson Maimo reporting there, and different health institutions have been putting their hands on the plow to put an end to the spread of cholera in the southwest region of the country. And the Red Cross Society has been on the ground with its employees, its personnel, disinfecting some of the health facilities. Details with Davidson Maimo.
The Red Cross equally in the field, doing what it takes to disinfect the entire area, be it the hospital, be it the neighborhood, to combat this particular illness that has hit the city of Limbe and that has hit Fako division in the entirety.
We are there to do disinfection, and we are also the community. The Red Cross are also there to distribute aqua taps to disinfect water drinking water in household, and also they are there to do community mobilization and sanitization in the communities.
The whole year that was constructed for the hospital has equally been transformed into a ward, and it is full to capacity. In fact, you see right here we have makeshift structures that have been put in place by the government and its partners through the district medical officer here. They have been able to put up this makeshift structure, but nevertheless they have shortage of beds here, shortage of material, shortage of drugs. It is what the medics here are actually complaining and appealing with the powers that be to make these things reach them down here as fast as possible.
You have even students, they are here to help us, but the manpower is really short. As you see, most of them, some of them are students, others have also come from other facilities like Medecins Sans Frontières.
Okay.
Some of them are also here to help. Red Cross too is not left out. And we are really asking if there is help. If there are volunteers, they should come and help us.
We are at the regional hospital here in Limbe, where of course medics at the regional hospital are doing whatever it takes to save lives. You can find drips hanging along the windows. It tells you that they don't have enough beds, they don't have enough drip stands, and of course medication equally is a problem. And this is a call that they have presented to the governor of the Southwest region, who of course is the chief executive officer of the region, to make sure that the central unit of the government in Yaoundé transport these things down to Limbe to actually cope with the situation of the cholera outbreak here that actually hit the city of Limbe.
Another health problem. Health officials in the Republic of Cameroon are struggling to water down is tuberculosis. Over 22,000 cases across the national territory, with the littoral region having the highest number as per the other regions. At least 4,000 cases in the littoral region of the country. Details with Immaculate Fogwe.
Despite the drop in tuberculosis cases within the past years in Cameroon, the disease remains one of the deadliest infectious diseases in the country. In 2021, at least 180 new cases were detected, with a mortality rate of close to 29%. Out of the 22,000 cases detected in Cameroon, the littoral region hosts close to 4,000 infected persons. Tuberculosis is a serious bacterial disease that can spread through the air, especially through droplets in the course of carrying out exercises like coughing, sneezing, speaking and laughing. In 2021, out of 1,000 inhabitants, 174 were infected with tuberculosis. At the level of Cameroon, 4,566 cases have been detected. One of the worries raised by pulmonologists in Cameroon is a non-respect of complete treatment procedures by some patients, making their matters worse. Treatment usually takes long, that's about 6 months and above. Lots of people abandon treatment when they start feeling much better. After some time, their situation becomes worse, leading to other complications. That's why you see most of them always coughing. Breaking all the myths surrounding the disease and equally elaborating the new treatment techniques was the objective of the conference held at the Douala Lakentini Hospital during World Tuberculosis Day. To reinforce health care, we have equipped centers handling TB cases. This will help to ease treatment. In Cameroon, tuberculosis treatment the new advancement in technology has permitted health experts to obtain therapeutic success with 66% compared to the 83% rate recorded in 2019. Tuberculosis is curable if one takes treatment at the earliest with the right medications for right duration as per the advice of the doctor. Practice proper cough etiquette if diagnosed with tuberculosis.
He has been on an anti-sickle cell crusade for over 30 years now, fighting to stop the disease, fighting, of course, to make people to be aware, to bring awareness or to raise awareness about this health problem, and also to ensure that people can avoid it by going for their electrophoresis test before getting married. He is sickle cell warrior Ashu Egbe, and he's put out a foundation with the main aim of enhancing the management of sickle cell patients and, of course, raising awareness with the aim of preventing the occurrence. Details in this report.
56-year-old Ashu Egbe is a sickle cell warrior who has managed to live a normal life in spite of all the odds brought about by the sickle cell disease.
Not an easy road, but I've survived. Unlike what people say that we don't live above a certain age, 21. So it's been a long walk, and we're happy. I'm happy that I'm still alive to even testify, and thank God that we can give hope to many sickle cell patients who are younger than us, that they too can live long.
Ashu, like many others battling the condition, are subjected to diverse forms of stigmatization by the population and acute pain referred to as a crisis.
Because going through a sickle cell crisis is very painful. There are some patients that go through that almost every month. The other day I visited a young man in the hospital, and for the since August he has been hospitalized every month. So if you go through that, you are a young student, you have to go to school, and between that you are admitted for a week or so every month in the hospital. It's not only physically challenging, it's financially also and emotional.
The sickle cell disease is a hereditary blood disorder caused by abnormality in oxygen carrying protein hemoglobin found in the red blood cells.
We believe that's at the level of the Ashu Egbe Foundation. We believe that if you have regular controls, regular follow-up, you have less crisis. It's just like a car that has regular maintenance. You have less break there. You will not have many breakdowns. So what we are doing is we are partnering with some hospitals to run what we call sickle cell clinics. In the sickle cell clinic, sickle cell patients come, say, once a month, and they have their blood controlled. They have a regular meeting one-on-one with the doctor.
The Agbo Egbe Foundation is known for bringing assistance to incapacitated sickle cell victims and equally sensitize the population on the importance of knowing their genotype.
Rebel forces fighting the northern part of Ethiopia have agreed to a government-proposed truce to allow aid deliveries to reach millions of people in urgent need of assistance. No aid has been delivered to the Tigray region since mid-December, with the government accused of imposing a blockade. It blames rebel forces. The Tigray People's Liberation Front rebels, the Tigray People's Liberation Front rebels said they will respect the ceasefire as long as aid deliveries resume within a reasonable time. The 16-month war has killed thousands. In January, the World Food Programme said that almost 40% of Tigrayans were suffering from what it called an extreme lack of food. It also found that half of all pregnant and breastfeeding women were malnourished. Some 9 million people need aid in Tigray and neighboring regions, which have also been affected by the fighting. Tigray has also been hit by communication blackout, with internet and phone services cut off. Now, coming up in sports, Smart Jikan Gabriel joins us from the Shapuma Sports Complex, where the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon will be locking horns with the Desert Foxes of Algeria in the Qatar 2022 World Cup qualification. Good evening, Smart.
Good evening, Babila Jonathan and televiewers of Equinoxe TV. We are live at the Japoma Sports Complex. In some few minutes time from now, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon will be taking on the Desert Foxes of Algeria. It is the first leg qualifier of the World Cup that will be played later this year in Qatar. This is the third time the two countries will be meeting in a World Cup qualifier game, and Cameroon has always been on top of the Desert Foxes of Algeria. The fans are already in, top officials are already inside the stadium, and of course it's a day that many say Cameroon will have to win to be sure of a place in the next edition of the FIFA World Cup that will be coming up in Qatar. And of course, to talk about the strength of the two teams, we have a journalist from a sister media organ that will be talking to us this evening. And of course, she is Oni Ladonate, who is going to join us to talk about the strength of the two teams. Ladonate, good evening to you.
Good evening to you too, and it's a pleasure for me to be here.
All right, and the indomitable Lions of Cameroon will be taking on the Desert Foxes. What do you think will be the strength of these two teams as they meet this evening?
First of all, it's important for us to know, like you rightly mentioned, that Cameroon has always had the lead when it comes to
is sorry for the poor quality of that broadcast from the Japoma Sports Complex. Smart Njik be joining us there with STV's Ladonet, analyzing the stakes, the strength and performance, the strengths and performance of the indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Desert Foxes of Algeria. And that encounter starts at 6 p.m. It is the leg of the qualification for the 2022 Qatar World Cup, and of course that encounter is taking place at a time when Cameroonians are in high expectations of victory from the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. We shall surely be coming back to that live broadcast by Smart Njik from the Japoma Sports Complex in some few minutes from now. And this is where we're going to end this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television. Stay with us. A special program consecrated to that encounter between the indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Desert Foxes of Algeria will be coming up in some few minutes from now. Serge Along to be with you. Stay with us. Goodbye.